In today's video, we're going to show you how to make some Christmas light arches for your driveway. So let's get out of the weeds. So in today's video, what we're going to do is we're actually going to be making 4 arches that are going to be going across the driveway that our cars are going to be able to drive into, and then we're going to wrap them up in lights. So to get started, what we're going to do is I'm actually going to create 4 arches. So if you look here, we're starting here with some 1 1/4 inch PVC pipe. Each of these are 5 feet in length. So these are actually going to be the bases that we're going to start with, that I'm going to hammer into the ground, and it's going to be what we slide our PVC down into. So right now, I need 8 of them in total. So I'm going to cut each of these in half with the PVC cutter, and then we're going to hammer them into the ground. Okay, so after I cut each of those in half, I have 8 pieces there, all about 2.5 feet in length. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hammer them into the ground. Now for reference behind me, my driveway is about 16 feet wide and about 20 feet in length from about where I want to go. So where my driveway starts, right where I'm standing, up to where the sidewalk starts is right at about 20 feet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going 4 arches up there. And so what I'm going to do is spread them out evenly over that length of 20 feet and put them on each side. And those are going to be our bases for our arches. All right, so we're back out here the following morning. It's starting to get dark for us, so we went ahead and let's go to bed and get out here the next morning. So you can see I got all of the stakes pounded in on the side. So 8 in total, 4 on each side. Now the length of my driveway there, the arched area, is just about 20 feet. And so what we did is we pounded each of the PVC pieces about 6 feet apart. And so that's gonna be our gap between our archways. Okay, so now the next part is going to be, I have 3/4 inch PVC. They're all 10-foot pieces, and I have 16 of them. And so what these are going to do is these are going to be what makes up our arches. Now what we're going to do is slowly start to connect some of the 10-foot pieces to make our archways to connect.
Help, Daddy.
Now if you look back behind me and you see all the pieces sticking up, now what I'm going to do is there is going to be a middle 10-foot piece. So I'm going to bend each of the pieces, connect one of these T's, or if it's on the inside, connect a 4-way. And what I'm going to do is have a 10-foot piece in the middle and connect it to the other side, creating our arch. So you can see there, I have it attached by a T up there, creating my arch. Now I gotta just connect it to the other side.
How are we gonna do that?
Huh?
How are we gonna do that? You want me to push it?
Okay. So.
You want me to push it? I'm pushing it. I'm holding
No, not that one. That pipe there. Start pushing it towards me. Start pushing it towards me.
Got it?
Yep. So here we have the first arch done. So you have your base to your 10-foot piece to your, I have a T right there attached to another 10-foot piece to another T, and then 10-foot piece down to the base. So now what I'm going to do is repeat that exact same process for the other 3 arches, and then I'm going to work on connecting them together. So now the difference that I'm using when I'm connecting the arches, on the ends I'm using a T because it doesn't continue on. For the middle one, so the second and third one, when it continues on, I'm using one of these 4-way ones, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect a stabilizing piece of PVC to connect all the arches together, just to help them all be more stable so they're all not freestanding on their own.
Hi, my name's Amelia. And I'm 5.
Okay, so all the arches are up, and what we're going to do now is connect the arches to each other for stability, so that if it gets really windy and stuff, hopefully it helps kind of keep them all up and we don't end up having any of this fall apart. So that's going to be the next part. We're going to connect pieces all within between them and connect them all together. Okay, so now since I have 10-foot pieces, the arches are not 10 feet apart. So what I have to do is take a PVC cutter and cut them to the proper length so that they can connect in between the arches. All right, so there is the arch put together and secured. Looks good. Now for hanging up the lights. What I was going to do is I was going to be using some C6 lights and just wrapping the actual arches themselves with lights all the way around. The thing is though, my wife was like, you know, it would look better if you just use like some net lights and then stuck it around so it's like we're driving through like a tunnel as opposed to individual arches. So I thought that was a pretty good idea. So I looked and I went and priced it out, and man, it was going to be crazy expensive if I did all net lights. So I wanted to come up with an alternative that I thought would be a little bit more of an affordable option. So we'll see how it works, but here's my idea. I'm now going to take these mini lights here. So I got these strands, each 69 feet and a half each box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go the length of the poles, the arches there, all the way back and forth, simulating as if I'd be using net lights. So now it's nowhere near done. This is just one strand, but you get the picture. For each arch, I have it zip tied, and I just kind of work my way up. And so I do that kind of the whole entire length of the arches. And now if I do that all the way around, then I can go and it'll feel like it's a tunnel. So what I calculated out is I need to have about 1.5 feet of space between each row to fully complete the entire arch. If I do them too short, I'll run out and I might only have half an arch. And so that's why you have to kind of calculate how many lights do I have versus how far do I have to go. I have to go 30 feet here, and I have 3 rows per box of lights, and I have 7 boxes of lights. So I technically get 21 rows with my 7 boxes of lights, and I'm going to spread those 21 rows out to about 1.5 feet, and that's going to fully complete the arch. So now I'm up here on the ladder and I'm starting to attach the arches above me, so getting to the peak of the arches. Now the problem that I'm running into, and this may just be a me problem because I'm not really the tallest guy, I'm only about 5'8", and so when I'm getting up here, I can reach it if I really reach up, but it's very difficult, and I'm getting a little bit of wind here, so it's like I don't feel that comfortable just exposing myself all the way up there. I don't want to run the risk of falling. So what I'm doing instead is I'm attaching these ones a lot closer together and then not doing them very tight. And then that way I'm going to take like a broom or something and then just at the end, just reach up, give me a little bit of an extension and just slide it to where I want to be. Now, there's no support beam in the middle of this, so this is all open. So I can put these real close together and then just slide them to where I want them to be at the end. All right, so behind me sits the completed arch, all the lights up there. Now it's hard to tell what it's really gonna look like because it's daylight. But the big thing is, once I got them all strung up, I went and started trying to spread them out as evenly as possible throughout the arches to try to make it even. Now, once I have it lit tonight, it'll give me a better idea of if there's any adjustments I need to make. Now I'm going to give a brief recap of all the items you need to build this 30-foot arch over your driveway. First, you start off with 8 pieces of 1 1/4 inch PVC. So I got a few 10-footers, cut them down into smaller pieces, and then pounded them into the ground. Next, you need 12 10-foot pieces of PVC pipe, and that's going to be the arches. Then you need 6 6-foot PVC, all 3/4 inch, the same as the arches, that are going to be connected for your support beams. Now, if you look in there, you need T's on the ends, so you need 4 total 3/4 inch T's. And then in the middle, you're using the 3/4 inch 4-ways, so you're going to need 4 of those for each of the sides for your support beams. Then I used 69.5 foot lighted length mini lights. So what you're going to want to do is you can use really any lights you want. Chances are you may not have the exact same ones that I bought, but what you can do is just figure out how long of the length are you doing. I did about 18 feet length of the entire arch, which is what my driveway is. So depending on how long your driveway is, your arch may be longer or shorter. So you may need more lights than what I've used. But factor it out how many times, if you're running them the length right there, how many feet of lights you're going to need to fully cover it. Now, you can also add way more. Like, mine are spread pretty far apart. I could double that and just put them all real close and get more lights. So it just depends on how much you want to spend with doing your lights. Lastly, make sure you have a bunch of cable ties. These cable ties are going to help you attach all the lights to your arches. So there it is behind me, all lit up for the very first time. You can see a driveway Christmas light arch. Turned out pretty good. So with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys next time. Merry Christmas.